Get all your notes.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hello. I actually wrote in this book, and I'm actually pretty proud because I made sure that I highlighted like names and certain things. Move, dog, bag up, homie. But I now have two books, and I'm kind of glad that
Yes.
I love this
Yes.
cover. Um, but this book, Bloodchild. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Elises. Hey. Um, this book is creepy as fuck.
Yes.
I will say the fact that they put the creepy stories in the front of the book, and then I felt like the last couple stories were not as creepy,
Mhm.
but this story was creepy as fuck. And I'm just realizing there's a silhouette of a person
Ooh, yuck.
here.
That's creepy.
That is very creepy.
I-
So yeah, I love this cover. I'm
Isn't
so
it so pretty?
it doesn't reflect the book.
It doesn't at all. At all. Nope.
I was so creeped out. Oh, that first story of like, oh,
Alien, like, I have a phobia of aliens. I also wanted to show off that I have this that I got from
that's
Octavia's bookshelf. It's a little notebook of Octavia Butler.
Aww.
Um, I have a phobia of aliens, so when I first read this, it took me like ew. It took me like a week to get through.
Yeah,
It took me like a week to get through just the first story, and
yeah,
then I was just so creeped out. And it reminds me of Alien,
yeah,
little less
yeah.
violent.
A little less for sure.
Yeah.
See, the last one I thought, okay, for me, my initial thoughts of this book when I finished it was control. A lot of the stories were like wanting to control others, wanting to control people, wanting to control, each other. Um, so that's what I got out of it. The last story about the God and wanting to, change humanity was kind of creepy, but it wasn't to the like, oh, gross type of creepy.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like, wanting to have people to have dreams and to change humanity like that again is one of those control factors. But yeah, all of the stories are creepy, very. For this to be short stories, I'm really glad that it was just that, short stories.
Yeah.
I'm really glad.
Yeah.
And she talks about that in her book of like some of her short stories became novels, and but she was like, these are literally just that, short stories,
Hmm.
nothing more at all. It's literally just a short story.
Hmm.
And I really appreciated. But this book was just full of like every story was like wanting to control people, wanting to control communities, wanting to control humanity, like all of it. And oh,
It just
Octavia again with her sci-fi creepiness, yet so intriguing stories. Like how? How is she? I mean, she's amazing. She's amazing.
she's I love the afterwards. Oh, I love the afterwards where she's just telling us a little bit about where her thought process was uh and just hearing from her own words. That means a lot. Like I don't know. I'm so spoiled. I wish that there were afterwards for all of her books. Like, oh, here's an afterward at the end. Like, let me
Yeah,
just
just to really see her thought process. And I appreciated that she not only talked about what inspired the story, especially Bloodchild, the first one. She was like inspired by some type of insect that gets
yeah.
embedded and like it gets infected, like those, that just adds to like the just the entertainment, not the entertainment, but just the what I got from the story. I really enjoyed it. It was creepy as hell, but I'm like, this is real? Like, what? But she was inspired by so many different things, and then she combined it and made it just something that we would enjoy from a sci-fi as sci-fi readers. Um, but yeah, so those afterwards, I especially the one where she talked about where was it? She talked about college, right? And she talked about um her writing, and we got to learn about her going to college and her writing classes and things like that. And like the professor was like, can you write something normal? Like
Yeah.
all of those just added so much personality, and we understood where her mindset was and what her thinking was, right? She's not with us to provide interviews and different things like that. But yeah, those afterwards were amazing.
It makes me really happy to read Bloodchild, and other stories. I think, what was, out of all the stories, what do you think was your favorite? So there was, um, Bloodchild was the first one.
Hmm.
The second one was the evening, the morning, and the night, and that's the one about the people who have that mental illness.
BGD.
Yeah. And then there was Near of Kin, which is the one about the woman who finds out that her mom is her father and her mother are sister and brother.
Hmm.
And then there's Speech Sounds, where there's a disease and people can't speak because of the disease.
Hmm.
Mm, Crossover, which was about the woman who worked in the factories, and then the man with the scar came to kind of talk to her.
I don't remember that one.
Um, she not Near of Kin.
I
Let
think
me
it's
go
the one
back.
that's only 2 blocks away. Which I forget. Another something. Right.
I want to say it's the shortest story in here. Crossover.
So for me, it was the evening of in the morning and the night.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say Bloodchild for sure. That one, but that really started the book as a bang. Like I was just like, "Ugh, ugh,
Yep.
oh, God," like and putting babies and eggs and just oh.
Ugh.
Um, but
And
the
then when she was like, and then she undulated, and I was like,
yeah,
uh.
yo, oh man.
uh.
And again, those afterwards, like in Bloodchild, she was just like, she wanted to explore men getting pregnant, and not just because they were forced to, but because they wanted to. And I was like, if that ain't a way to do it, that was a perfect way to and to take on. He mentioned how his sister um was going to have babies, but they were like, yes, but they'll be suckling from our breast, not their blood. And I was just like, oh
It's
gosh.
like, ugh.
But I haven't read a story that had a male pregnancy in it until
Mhm.
this one. And it was creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your favorite?
Um, when I first read this is my third time reading Bloodchild and Other Stories. First time I read it, my favorite one was the evening, the morning, and the night.
Mm-hmm.
The second time I read it, I want to say my favorite was Amnesty.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
And then this time around, I think my favorite is Speech Sounds.
Really?
It was so powerful. Just the whole I think I'm a sucker for stories with reveals at the end. So
Mm-hmm.
just the reveal at the end when, like, when like she's like, okay, I got to put his body in the car, and then I got to put the woman who got attacked, her body in the car, and then the kids start talking, and she's like, and then that was the first reveal, and then the second reveal is that she starts talking back to them, and then it's like you realize that she could speak this whole time, but she just,
Chose not to.
yeah, because if she did, people would have been so angry at her, like the same way that when she saw that Obsidian could read, she felt rage at him and she was angry with him because he could read and she couldn't read anymore. And so if she had started talking, people definitely would have been jealous and angry, and they probably would have attacked her. And I was thinking, like, that woman in that story, maybe she got attacked by that man because she could speak and he
But no.
knew. Yeah, like maybe he got angry and he was like, she can talk, and so I'm going to attack her. But yeah, that was one of my favorites. I really also liked the Book of Martha, even though I am actually an atheist. So I'm not religious at all.
Mhm.
But it was really interesting to me because, and Jerry from Onyx Pages pointed out, the way the story starts, it sounds like it sounds like Martha's trying again at the beginning of the story. So at the
Mm.
very beginning of the story, God says something like, "It's hard, isn't it?" And then she's like
I didn't
confused
even
as to what he means. And so that might not
look at
have
the
been the
Israel.
first. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I didn't even catch on to that. That's a great point.
I was like, oh, when she pointed that out, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And that might not be Martha's first time trying to come up with a solution with God. Oh my gosh. So I thought that was really interesting. I tried to see if I could get any more hints from the story, but I got all the same information. But it just, I like the idea that she was there several times trying
Yeah,
to solve this problem.
that's a good point. That's a good point. I love that every time you read it, you have a new favorite. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it just hits differently. I
I'm
love
just I just like I appreciate, it's like I see something else about the other stories and I appreciate them even more. Like, oh wow, I didn't realize this the last time. So I like this even better.
it. Right. All right, let me catch up on the comments. Hey everyone. All the stories are creepy. Yes. Just read it and listened to it today. Speaking of, and I'm glad you mentioned this, Jessica, because I had mentioned before that Octavia E. Butler's audiobooks that were Audible only were removed off the website. And that again was based off of, they were removed off Audible. And that again was based off of like renegotiating contracts, but they
Mhm.
are back on there. So if you wanted to purchase Audible only books, audiobooks for Octavia. They are back on the website. They were gone for a couple of weeks and people were upset about it. But again, like hopefully it was in the best interest of well, one is contract once a contract expires, you can't just keep selling their stuff. But
Yeah,
um hopefully the renegotiation was just better for the Octavia family.
I
Um,
hope so.
yeah, I hope so too. I'm gonna listen to it today. She thinks it's a creepy.
Even on Audible, it says like in the fine print, it says like once you purchase an audiobook, you should download it and keep it saved because there's no guarantee that they're gonna keep it on the like accessible to you.
Right.
And if it's not accessible to you in the fine print, it says like that's not their problem. Like,
Right.
so if you pay for it, you need to download it. So that's why I'm gonna start doing this weekend is downloading all of my audiobooks and putting them on a hard drive just in case that happens again. Because
But see, the ones that I purchased that were in my library was perfectly fine. As long as you don't archive them, then they should remain in your account. So the ones that I did purchase in the past from the Pattern series are still there. It's just you couldn't purchase any new ones. But now they're
okay,
back on the website, so you could purchase them if you want.
okay, that makes sense.
So yeah,
I think that clause is for if they just remove it from streaming in general. So if they were to remove
probably.
it from purchasing and streaming, yeah,
Right. So if absolutely so, if they didn't renegotiate contracts and like they completely removed it off the website, oh yeah, it would definitely be
yeah.
there.
I gotta download all my audiobooks.
Where do you have her audiobooks on Audible, or do you have it on a different?
Yeah, I ended up buying all of them on Audible when I got into Octavia Butler about 2 years ago. And that was because I didn't know about Libro FM, but then also, like, some of her audiobooks are Audible only.
Yeah, a lot of her
So
books are Audible only.
I have every single audiobook in English by Octavia Butler on Audible.
Okay, gotcha.
Um, I wish I wish they were more accessible, like, like on Libra FM and other
Mhm.
places. But
Yeah, they get a discount off of they get a discount like Audible will take less from the revenue
mm,
if it's Audible only. Like it's a fraction of the piece of compared.
mm,
They can't sell it anywhere else, so including libraries.
damn.
I agree.
Oh, I wanted to ask. This is a random question, not about Octavia Butler, but about libraries. When someone checks out a library book, does the author get paid every time someone checks out the library book, or only when they just buy it for the library?
So when the library buys it, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, especially Elise. Elise might know. When the library buys it, they buy the copyright license for it.
Okay.
It's hella expensive. It's like, let's say it's $120 for an audiobook, and that's for one, and you just rotate between, people will check them out.
Yeah.
Um, but they buy the copyright license. And so no, it's not necessarily like that. Now with Hoopla, the library will get charged depending on if you check out a book. So depending on what library it is in their contract with Hoopla, I know this because Ashley told me, Ashley from the Book is Wrong, that sometimes when you check out a book, they'll get charged for it, which is why they limit on how many Hoopla checkouts you can have.
Okay.
Sometimes it's free reign, like, hey, you have 15, library books that you can check out on Hoopla, but if you check out one, you know, here, the library will get charged a small fee. But for the most part,
Okay.
no, I think it's just their contract. Like they just get the license and then that's it. They pay for it.
Okay.
But it's hella expensive. It's
Yeah.
not.
I heard it was really expensive.
Yeah. I found it interesting that she says she hates short stories, but I love them the most since Wild Seed.
Mm, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to
I'm
hear that.
happy to hear that too, because I, for me, I hate, and we were talking about this with Tanana Review. Like, I don't like short stories. Like, they're not long enough. I need details. I need to know the ending. I need to know like the the transitions and what happened in between. But like, I'm so glad that story. God, I was cringy. No, take off my
Ugh. Just
um,
creepy as hell.
very creepy. Hey, J-Rap.
Hey, Jira.
Your words were the best part in Mama's, in my opinion.
Yes,
I
I
agree.
definitely agree.
Her friend got to me.
Is it the
Okay,
friend
maybe that's
that?
Noah's one.
Oh,
Maybe.
I,
Girl, I don't know.
I just thought she meant the friend that Octavia Butler talked about, the one that she had read Clay's arc that had not lymphoma, but she had a type. Her friend, she mentioned her friend had a type of
In here.
cancer. Yeah, in the
Mhm.
afterward, she said her
Okay.
friend had a type of cancer, and at the time, her friend was reading Clay's arc for her, even though she didn't think, it was too harsh, and so she was worried about how her friend would react.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all the stories. Amnesty was my least favorite. That
Me.
one creeped me out because the ending part where, like, the workers, the what do you call, the potential employees, they kept pushing her,
Yeah.
and they kept saying, like, why don't we attack them, like, why haven't we attacked them, what's going on? And she's like, listen, let me just tell you the truth, okay? We
Fact.
sent nukes to them, like, we sent nukes and they sent them back. They put them in the White House. Like, oh,
Yo, and then for that one, I enjoyed it, and it kind of reminded me of the sad reality of like how cruel people are in real life. Like, you can meet a stranger, these aliens, and yes, they're not the best of the best, but the ones that truly hurt you are your own.
Yeah.
And that's what she said. And I was like, yo, that hit. Like, that's facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is facts. Like, you know, they treat you like shit, and they really grilled her and locked her up. And I mean, the alien people were like, oh, go,
Mhm.
go. And she wandered back up with them anyway, and was able to care for her family. And was it the best world? Probably not. Best job? Probably not. But yeah, that was so creepy. Again, with the control, like, then she was talking about how they were obsessed with humans, and I was like,
Yeah. How uncomfortable, like, so uncomfortable. Ugh.
she was a Walmart greeter. Yo, and knew the language and everything, like, and everything.
Oh my god.
Evening and speech were my favorite. I
Yeah.
Let me turn the speech real quick, because what I really enjoyed about the evening and the morning and the night was the sense of power that women have. And that's kind of how I took it. Yes, these people who have, what is it called, D something, DGDs, come together with another person that has DGDs, and it makes them crazy, right? Again, another spin on mental health, if you could take it like that. I mean, however you take it, but another spin on mental health, and passing along traits and whatnot when you have children. um, but the power that the two women had to be able to speak to the mother, and get her to snap back to reality and control herself and whatnot. Again, Black women are just magical, like,
Mhm.
period, doesn't matter. And it was based off these pheromones, and which I find even more interesting. And so, have you ever used that oil that you can put on and you could smell your pheromones?
I haven't.
Oh gosh, I was at this party that my sister had, where they were selling products, and it was a fun time. But anyways, there was this oil we put on. My sister smelled like chocolate, and
Oh.
my her friends smelled like what was it? It was something like tea, something grainy, and just smells like grains, right? Like, it was just weird. I was like, you smell like a freaking salad. Like, it was weird, but I smelled like flowers, and
Aw.
it's pretty cool how our pheromones as people in general could smell like trash or smell so good, um,
Yeah.
and just attract. But again, that's like this vibe thing, but also, like, you know, your pheromones. It's pretty interesting. But I love the spin on mental health. I love the spin on um, being able to have that control, and as women, because the mother only listened to women, and how
Mhm.
uh, women, they didn't like each other and had no idea why. And I was like, this seems too real. Like, this seems like something that, just Black women in general, just like beefing for no reason, but having this masculine energy, this control. I wouldn't even say masculine energy, just this ability to control this magical energy. Um, and they don't like each other. And
Mhm.
men go crazy. And, also, I really enjoyed it.
And they really listen, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end she says, like, she looks in the rearview mirror and sees the older woman, and she swears that she can see herself in the rearview mirror becoming the woman. And I'm like, Huh, I wonder if she's saying if she feels sad if she's going to become that woman, like if she doesn't want to,
Right.
or but I just that story was so interesting. There are so many stories that Octavia Butler has written that has mental illness representation. Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents is two of them that I can think of off the top of my head. And then the evening, the morning, and the night is one that I always remember that has mental illness representation.
Yeah.
Um,
Which
which
wasn't
I
really a big discussion. I would think when this was published back in the when was this published?
let me look it up.
79. Well, each story was published differently. So in 1987 was the original publish of the evening, the morning, and the night. And so,
Yeah,
like back then, where I mean, we knew mental health was a thing, right? But it wasn't fully, I guess, accepted. Like they were like,
yeah.
crazy and had psych words and like you're nuts. It just wasn't accepted as much as it is now.
And in this story, she says like the fiance's mother had stayed in a ward, a psych ward that was like terrible and treated her terribly, and she it resulted in her having brain damage after having stayed there for 3 months.
Mhm.
And that to me was just like a call out on like actual mental health facilities around the time and before that, just not treating the mentally ill properly and taking care of them properly, and just like treating them like crap and harming them. So I really like the mention of that, just like because that's how psych wards were
Facts.
um, back then, and there probably still are some places like that now, you know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Probably. So yeah, and she had this. That was the story that the father killed the mother, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Which was traumatizing. Lord, she
Yes.
was traumatized going into another hospital setting, and realized that it was different, which I'm happy about. I hate the word undulate. Facts. I read MPreg.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What is
It's like
that?
male pregnancy.
Oh, male pregnancy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I haven't.
Yeah, I think that was my first story of male pregnancy. I never had read one.
Yeah, I haven't either. But fanfic would make sense. Oh, manga.
Manga.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Manga
Manga gets weird too.
definitely does.
Hi, someone, the evening, the morning, and the night sticks with me the most. Every drug has side effects. When given the chance to live, people are willing to gamble with known or unknown side effects. And that is so true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think by Niidi Okorafor. She wrote a book that had to do with like medication side effects. I won't say which one though, because now that I think about it, it might be a spoiler if I do say which one. But she wrote a book and it has to do with like medical side effects, and so I was like, okay. When I read Nidia Corafor's book, it reminded me a lot of the evening, the morning, and the night.
Gotcha. See, I know it's not her YA because I read that.
Oh yeah, no.
You're both right. The clause is a clover. Their ass clause. That clause is a clover. That their ass clause.
That clause is the cover of their house. Oh yeah, okay. I think Amazon. The clause that
Oh,
says like you got to download your books because they're going
oh
to be
yeah, yeah, yeah,
removing
yeah.
them.
Audible. Oof,
Yeah.
Lord, I'm behind. I'm sorry. Maya, I'll message you later. I got something that will make this task easier. I
Oh
bet
sure.
he is the Amazon guru. Oh man. They purchase the number of license. The license allows a number of uses.
Oh damn. So
Crazy. You like
it's
max
like
out on like your usage and they have to repurchase it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like 200 uses, and then they got to repurchase.
That's crazy. Hoopla is per checkout. I love fucking Hoopla.
It's so good.
I'm sorry to my library because I abuse that shit for real. I do. The library has to buy licenses. E-license allows for a certain amount.
So it sounds like they do have to. Oh yeah, her friend had myeloma. Octavia Butler's friend.
Yeah, which was influenced Clay's arc, right? Like that.
I don't think it. I don't actually. It might have.
I thought
Yeah.
that's what we talked about before.
Like I know she like her friend would read with her and she would visit her friend.
Mm-hmm.
But it might like Carrie's cancer might have been based on her friend's cancer, her real life friend's cancer.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's possible.
I think her afterwards increased my enjoyment for each story. Yes, giving me a reason why she wrote the story satisfied my why and then what. Yes, it
Yeah.
started with, like just telling us how what inspired the story and why she came up with the story. Just like I've never read a book that had that many afterwards, and you really got to understand because again, short stories are to me they're so incomplete. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that with this book, and I was so happy about that. Hey, Yappa. I was in Briapolis. Out here running the streets, cruising the streets, whatever we want to say. I don't know. I'm not cruising nothing. I'm too old. How are you? I hope all is well over there on the island. What beach were you on today? I read Octavia Butler. I have to read that one in another addition to Evergreen TBR. Yeah, you should
That's a
definitely
good
read
one. I think, I mean, there's so many stories in here. There's bound to be at least one that you'll like,
it. Mhm.
but they're all good, and the afterwards make them even better. So I think you'll definitely like it.
Uh, when Noah
Yeah.
said it was short, quiet war, we lost. I was like, damn, yo, Noah
I
is
was
like
like,
the sketch, but then like facts, right? Like that's the reality of it. I completely agree.
she was like, y'all keep talking about going to war with them. Listen, it already happened, and
Hmm.
we lost.
Yep. So shut the hell up.
Yeah, take the damn job or leave.
I agree. Afterwards, speak to how the author needs to write and put their words out into the universe and let it be. The writer wrote it with one thing in mind, but the reader is going to walk away with different meaning depending on the day and year.
Hmm.
Yes,
That's
Alicia.
so true.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It just really added and enhanced the story itself. I mean, especially the first book. And I keep going back to that one because that one was so impactful for me. As far as the creepiness, like what the I really thought when I was reading Bloodchild that Octavia was sick in the head and that there was something like, how do you think about this shit? Right? I was like, what the who raised you? And why are you thinking like this? This is like creepy shit, right? They took an animal and like ripped it open and put the body in there. And I'm like, how are you embedding things and people and just like encapsulate them and then eating fucking eggs that makes you last longer in life. Like I was like gross the fuck out.
It's just so. I can see why it won a Hugo Award and it won a Nebula Award, and I can see why because it's just creepy as fuck. It's
Very creepy. Like
creepy.
the, oh, and
And the way she describes Tagatoi, like when she says like Tagatoi gets up and moves and runs and it's fluidity like water and she has
yes,
all these legs and
yeah.
so she's just like got all her legs and she just oh
giving away, the mother gave away their firstborn or one of their children. I don't think it was the first one. I think the person was more intrigued with the second, but like gave away their child and told them to go slaughter something and bring it back. And like, I was just, but just the again, the me picturing, because she's so vivid with her descriptions, and then me picturing Gato, or whatever her freaking name was, like just crawling and then wrapping her tentacles and penetrating her mother to put her to sleep. And I was like, what the Octavia, how do you think like this? Like, what came, how do you have that weird shit in your head? Like,
It's
how do you
so gross.
it's so gross. It is so gross. And just, oh God.
And then like
But he tells you in the afterward where all of that inspired
coming from, yep. I thought
Mhm.
like when the first time I read this, I didn't catch that it was on another planet
Mhm.
in a preserve.
Oh, I
A
didn't realize it was
Yeah, it like because it kept saying like the brother. I can't remember what the brother's name was, but after he fought before he fought with the brother was like, like I keep trying to run away in a damn preserve, like I'm going around in circles, like
Mhm.
in this damn preserve. And then it occurred to me like, oh my god, they're not on Earth, they're on a different planet in a human preserve.
Mhm.
Ah, like ah how like and then I had so many because like he at one point they're like, oh well, there are so many generations that have gone by that our species has been intermingling with their species, and so I have all these questions like, well damn, how many generations?
Right.
And like how did like people go there and travel there and that's how you're on that planet? I don't know, I had so many questions, but I I, I just know that the story was gross and it was enthralling
Mhm.
and it made me feel nasty inside.
Very nasty inside. God. I like, no lie. So I've been, my daughter started Boys and Girls Club, and we've been walking, and it's about 3 blocks, right? But you have to cross this really busy street. And so as I'm walking, I get stung by a mosquito. I got bit by a mosquito, not stung. It felt like a sting. Like it just, I was like, because it hurt. It was sharp. And my
Oh,
immediate thought was this goddamn book. Like, am I gonna pass out? Am I gonna get dizzy? Get put to sleep? Like, oh.
yeah.
And then, you know what the crazy thing is? Because I started this yesterday, and then I went to go see Boogeyman, and like the creepy, crawly legs, and oh god, yesterday was a day of horror. Let's just say that. A fucking day of horror, man. But
Bloodchild is definitely great to read during a Halloween season.
mm-hmm. That's a good point. I wonder if we can add this to Bravery's list. I gotta check the genre, but this would be a good book to add to Black Oweenathon
Yeah, it's creepy as hell.
for sure. Absolutely, it definitely is.
Hey,
Um,
it's nice to meet
uh,
you.
my wife and I read Wild Seed together. The character Doro was not only unhinged, but because of the power he had, actually made him terrifying in this way. There is no way to stop him.
Yep.
That you didn't move on to the second book. So when you get to the second book, let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know, because Doro, we call him the OG pimp, like the OG. What was Jiro? What was the name that we called Joro? OG Century Pimp. What was it? It was something.
Excuse me. Oh
Yo,
my
either way,
god.
he's the OG of the OG back in biblical day pimp. Okay,
Yep. Yep.
biblical day pimp. The United States was created with his seedlings. Okay. Crossover was published in 1971 when the odd people at your job smelled like mothballs and never flushed the toilet. In 2023, the odd people are shooting their coworkers and we need help.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dora was a trip. Dora was horrifying.
Dorifying was Dorifying. Dora was horrifying. Yes.
Horrifying. We have to use that. I miss Doro though. I do. Like I really do.
He was like talking about like high tier protagonist. I mean antagonists.
Yeah.
Like that's a high tier antagonist right there. Like I hate the hell out of him, but it's entertaining to read about him.
So entertaining.
Yeah.
So fucking entertaining. Like he was a fucking asshole. And I mean, like in today's day and age, even though some people would, dissect it and be like, he was problematic and he was this and he was that and the abuse and all these things. Yeah. But he was entertaining as fuck to read. Okay?
Yeah.
He was pimping. Okay. The
He
pimp was
was.
not only pimping women and families, the pimp was pimping bodies. Okay.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was doing it all.
He was doing it all.
And he wasn't just talking about it. He was about it. Okay.
Yeah.
He would see you across the field and just take your entire soul.
Yep.
He was
Doro. Doro has he's also creepy. What's with Octavia Butler and creepy characters?
Especially creepy men. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Body snatchers.
There was one that reminded me so much of Wild Seed. I'm trying to think what story it was. Oh man, I don't remember. I appreciated the fervor
Scribbin Yeah.
I appreciated that one because that one sounds extremely personable. Like it was really about just it had nothing from what I recall. It had nothing to do with like. It was more just talking about writing and like just do it, right? Like it was more inspiring
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. Let me see, what page was that on? I remember just like underlining and like, she was like, right, just do it.
And I know that the first time I read Positive Obsession, I was like, oh, okay, that okay, that was good. But this time around, I actually wanna. I have somebody in mind that I actually want to read that because it would help them. She's a writer, and it would really help her because I love the whole bit about how like positive obsession and habit forming will help you. You
Right.
won't have to depend on talent or anything else.
Yeah. Just really be consistent, right?
Yep.
Um,
But yeah, first Brandie was very inspirational.
Very. I did a whole lot of highlighting with highlighting. But just talk about writing, revise. Good is never good enough, right? Like continue. Submit your work for publication. It really gave a break of like between that and the positive. What was it? Positive publication.
Positive obsession
Was a great break from just the horror and the creepiness that went with that. She said her friend inspired one short story, but I felt it when she said she didn't want to go to the hospital but forced herself to go. It's hard to see people suffer and it's hard to find words. Completely agree. Hey Maya. Hey everyone. I haven't read this, but I will. I did read Fledgling. It was bizarre. So it's so funny because my bestie, ML, doctor, I call her Dr. Professor. Shout out to her. She actually last year told me that she would love for me to do an Octavia E. Butler read along. And so she is also, her wife is also the person that does this Nerd Mafia. And I have several t-shirts. And this is my mouse pad that I use, but it's Nerd Mafia Gang Gang, and it's a library card. we are just Nerd Mafia. We love our library cards, and so, but Dr. Professor specifically wanted to talk about Fledgling, and I know that's not one of your favorite books.
Yeah,
but I can't wait to get to it because that's the one with the vampires, right?
Yep.
That
Yep.
sounds intriguing as fuck to me.
It's good.
So intriguing to me. And I'm so excited to read it. So, uh,
It's good. It's not my favorite, but that might change because my opinions keep changing on her works the more I read them.
yeah.
So it's worth it. It's good.
For writers and groups, Amazon is raising costs of printing, which is going to cut into authors' royalties unless we raise the price of our books. I'm going to just take the hit. Yeah. So, I mean, and that goes to like inflation in general. And no, people absolutely hate Amazon. I've worked for Amazon from inside, outside, doing Amazon. I worked for them um, a lot, and I will say what they pay their employees is above industry standards. Like
Yeah.
minimum, and I think I was talking to someone about this. Like minimum, I make 25 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like you pay your employees really well. Paper, obviously, supplies have gone up. Just everything has gone up. So it's really unfortunate that it trickles down, but just in fucking inflation. I
Yeah.
hope that things get better and things start to die down because it seems like the last 2 years have been just nothing but up, nothing but up. And is it going to get worse before it gets better? I feel like we're at the worst. Like, it's unfortunate. But Yapo is an author and has several books.
Oh, okay.
Not who raised you, girl. I I have to tell my daughter that all the time. Like, who raised you? Because I know I didn't teach you that stupid shit. Yes. What I took away from speech songs is when we lose someone we thought we needed, sometimes the relationship reaches to us, bring us to the person slash people we really need and who really need us.
Mm.
I love
So
that.
like she lost Obsidian and that was unfortunate, but she ended up finding the kids who really needed someone.
Mm-hmm.
I was so heartbroken when the part where she says like I cannot take care of two kids and she just turns around and starts walking away to the car.
Yeah.
I was like, no way you're gonna leave. Like, turn around.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate. Those challenges, like, of taking care of others, or not seeing yourself being able to. One is hard on the person that can't accept it and have to walk away, but then it's hard on the children as well. I grew
Yeah.
up in foster care, and the moment my mom said, I can't do this, like, I mean, strung us along for like 6-7 years, right? And like finally I had an honest conversation at 13. I'm like, you need to give up your rights. Like, you're done. You need to stop. Um, and that's like 6-7 years in the system. And I'm like, you need stop stringing us along. This is not good. This is not okay. But it took a lot of to be brave to be able to walk away and say, I can't take care of these kids. I know I want to, I just can't. And so I kind of it's hard, but it doesn't matter. It's still heartbreaking. It's still
Yeah.
sad. I actually put the book down and during speech songs because of
Mm-hmm.
the neglectful parent and just the everything that was going on.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. So love me some creepy facts. Facts. Same. It's starting to rain. I love it. I can't wait to get out my book. I know, right? I just refuse to raise my prices because they're charging more. I'll make a little less, but I'm thinking about my readers. And that's shout out to you because like that's a hit that you're gonna take in general, but um everything has just gone up. And I've definitely cut down on my shopping for books because even children's books went from like $18.99 to $22.99.
Mm-hmm.
And so a $3 difference is big. It
Yeah.
adds up when you buy as many freaking books as I buy for sure.
Yeah.
So the Civil War pimp, pre-Civil War pimp,
Not pre-Civil War pimp.
biblical war pimp. He was around when Jesus was around. Drugs addiction prevail in a lot of her stories. Yes, the egg and Bloodchild, the alcoholism, and crossover, the prescription drugs in the evening. Fact.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
she really takes these sci-fi aspects, throws in a chunk of reality and relatable things, and just makes her own fucking story. Which is why I was like, how do you have this shit in your fucking head? Like, how do you do this and you make it so we 100% understand, 100% relate, and get creeped out at the same fucking time? Like,
Yep.
I couldn't put the
Yep.
book down during some of this creepiness. I was like, oh God, but I was so intrigued. And then the afterward just made it so much better. So
It's
much.
just like the icing on top.
Yeah, completely agree. The original Pimp Daddy Doro. That's what it was. That's what it was. The original Pimp Daddy Doro. That's what we called them.
Oh my god.
They don't get more original than him.
No.
Okay? But supposedly, I wasn't in book 2 where he talked about his parents might have his family might have had an ability, but they end up passing away. Like they didn't
Yeah.
have the ability to, have this long lasting, infinite amount of lives type of thing. So they did have abilities, but yeah, they died. So
They died.
so he's still the original.
Yeah.
I may have to read it again. We read both. I don't remember him getting what he was coming to him. Yeah, read book 2.
Mhm.
Read book 2. Yeah, book 3 was woo. I may have to. Oh, sorry. Dang it. Oh, when was this supposed to happen? This is ridiculous. I was sneezing all day yesterday. We are 4 hours away from New York, and it's been hazy. The air
Oh,
sucks. The air smells like dirt. Facts.
the fire from Canada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a big fire from Canada. Well, I don't know if allergy medicine will help, but maybe if you take some allergy medicine, um, I don't know though because it's smoke, from the fire.
Yeah, that could be it. And just like, I mean, we have air quality alerts every day. Pollen and the rain. Like right now, it's raining. But if you're only 4 hours from New York, that would make a lot of sense. With
Yeah.
um,
New York's air quality is really bad right now because of that fire.
yeah. I like the words she spoke to the authors. Take an hour or two and just write. Just do it. And
Yeah.
she said something like, "You should be writing every day."
Yeah.
Even if it's just in a journal. And
Yeah.
I have not. I have so many journals. I just have not used them. And it was a good reminder for me to just like sit and put down my words. We all have a million things going on, and putting pen to paper sometimes is just so needy. Even if you just ball it up and throw it away. But just put thoughts on paper, random thoughts, doesn't matter. Don't create a story. Just write, right? Like that chapter was so inspiring. In a book full of horror. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, where did this come from?
She, Octavia used to work these, what she called like menial jobs and factory jobs and stuff that she really hated and really disliked. And she had to get up super early. And because she loved writing and was so driven to write, she would get up even earlier. So if she had to get up at 5 to get ready, she would actually get up at like 3 a.m. so she could write for 2 hours in the morning. And she did that every morning. And I think that's where that essay is coming from her like experience of just like, yeah, I wake myself up at 3 a.m. to write every morning, and it's like, girl, I would I can't do that.
No.
I can't do that.
Mm-mm.
But she had so many ideas that she had to pour out and she had to release, and so I see why she, did what she had to do. She did that. She felt like she had to do that to get her stories out in a timely
Yeah.
manner.
Yeah.
And it was just a good essay, and it was just really, it's an essay that I want my friend to read, so it can help her get some inspiration.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just looked up the genres for the book, and it's sci-fi, fantasy, horror, speculative fiction, and sci-fi fantasy. Um, and so for something, it was a good balance of just not 100% horror. Like it was, I really felt like it started off with a bang, and then it was intense, and then
Yeah.
less intense, and then it was inspirational, and then towards the end it got back to a little creepy.
Yeah.
Um, and so, but again, that story of like, it was a great reminder. It was a great reminder. I wish we had the ability, like today's day and age, we're all working more than one job. We have all these side hustles. We have this, we have that. It wasn't like back then where you just work one job, go to school, go to college, and it's practically free. Um,
Yeah.
so I wish we had the ability to do that, but again, just the ability to just write. It doesn't cost you anything but paper and a pen. Like, just write. It was a great inspirational essay. I really enjoyed it. We are under the air quality warning too. Can't stop wheezing. Oh,
Mhm.
take your nebulizer, please. Nerd gang, nerd mafia, gang, gang. I have t-shirts. I have a jacket. I have
Yes.
mouse pad. I have stickers. I have so many nerd mafia, and I need to do better about sharing the link, because it was a fun time where we just sprinted together, created this together. Like, this was not something that I created. I think Jira and Elise's like magically came up with the name together, like pieced it together, and we just really just found as many library cards as possible and called ourselves Nerd Mafia. And it's a whole thing with us as a group together, and I absolutely love it. The most disturbing thing I read by Octavia was
Oh, don't read that comment. It's a spoiler.
ah
Like, don't read that.
okay. Yes, vampires. The price change happens the 20th. I think most books will remain about the same. Hopefully. No spoilers, please. We haven't read Parable, and Brie has a schedule posted on her community page. Come join us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know Daddy.
Okay, my answer for Zora is ain't shit men.
Ain't shit,
Ain't
man.
shit men.
I literally, during my TBR, and I was just chit chatting, I was like, I don't even want to know what this is about, but it's some dead beat ass man. That's what it's about, okay? And who hurt them? They daddies, okay? They daddies, and they friends.
Yeah.
Some ain't shit ass nigga.
Basically. Oh my god,
I
that's so
love that
funny.
Octavia also talked about her role in sci-fi and being the only Black person doing
Yep.
it. And then it was another one. Then it was her and one other person. I forgot the name. And then it
Samuel
was,
R. Delaney.
yes. And then it was four of them.
Yep.
And one of them being Stephen Barnes, which is Tanana Reeves' husband.
Yep.
I have one of his books and I need to read it, but the growth happened because one person stepped outside the box with her weird thought and really just wrote, and we ate it up, and
Yeah.
people joined the bandwagon and put it out there again back. And I've been saying this to just people in general, like, how brave are you? Like, you're fucking brave, because there's no way I don't want to be the first at shit
Yeah.
because the criticism that comes with that, like, ain't no way I can handle it.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
I didn't say
No, I wouldn't be able to. As sensitive as I am, no way. And she was like, in an interview, she was like, "Well, I guess I just don't have any sense because."
at all.
That's what she said.
We
She said
know.
I. She said I don't have any sense because I just decided I was gonna be the first black woman to write sci-fi and just do it, and I was just gonna do it. Like I didn't care what other people were gonna say. I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
And that was like Tanana Reeve do as well. Like both of them just being so inspirational and stepping over those boundaries that, as women in general, being in sci-fi horror genre, like that was just not a thing. And
Yeah.
then Octavia did it, and then Tanana Reeve did it, and so many others. And now it's like everyone just do what you love and put it out there. But they are definitely the face of horror and sci-fi for sure as women, black
Yes.
women.
Yes.
I'm
And
so
I'm
happy that we're doing
here. I am here for that face of sci-fi and horror.
facts. Facts, absolutely. Sorry to hear that. I've been reading about the fires in Canada and how they're affecting the US. I'm a bit concerned about my children and grandchildren.
Yeah.
You have grandchildren?
You don't even look young, old enough to have
Hey, you have
grandchildren.
grandchildren?
What?
Nah, I know you been acting a plum fool, okay? And it be acting a plum fool in the sprints. Not granddad acting like a plum fool. Not Papa acting like a plum fool. Yo, honestly, I haven't heard about. I know Canada had fires before, but like, that's not a. It's not that time of the year for fires.
It's
You know what I'm
not.
saying? Like that. That's later in summer, like late in summer. It's still chilly up there. Like,
And they have this huge fire, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
yeah.
Usually since I live in California, I'm so used to it always catching on fire, and there's always like fires every year.
Mm-hmm.
But just hearing like Canada being on fire, and then the smoke and the pollution coming down to New York, and like
Yeah.
that is like, oh wow, global warming and climate change.
Yeah, because it's not that time of the year. I mean, I work in insurance. Like, it is not that time of the year. Did you hear
Yeah.
how several companies are pulling out of California? And
Insurance companies?
oh yeah,
Oh my
because
gosh.
of the fires, and then Florida because of the weather in Florida. A lot of insurance companies are pulling out of Florida too, and
That's
part of
ridiculous.
that is they fucking fault because dealing with weather and home and rain and hail and water damage is one thing that insurance companies will do. But Florida passed a law, something to do with their, like, when a person files a claim and they get an attorney, the insurance company has to pay for their attorney fees and their processing fees and like so many different things. Even if they deny their claim, like they're out of buku money just because of this law that they passed. So a lot of companies were like, we're out. Like, this does not, because when you pay a premium in insurance, it goes into a pool. And when they need money, it comes out of that, right? It's a pool of everybody who pays premiums. And so like you're just taking from everybody at that point. And now we have to drastically increase people's premiums because the well has dried. Like,
Yeah.
I saw some of the things and I was just like, no wonder why people are pulling out of Florida. But California, there's two major companies that pulled out of California. I know one of them being State Farm and the other one maybe Farmers or Nationwide.
Oh wow.
I'm not sure. Don't even give me the line.
That's
But yeah, they're no longer doing like policies at all in the entire state, which is a large amount of people.
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, they're not cutting them off. Let me be clear. They're not cutting them off, but they are saying we're not going to renew you.
Yeah.
So you can have your claim, but the moment your renewal comes up, like you need to find somebody else.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
yeah, like California just I believe there's fire insurance through the state though. Like Texas in the southern part near the coast has its own insurance policy for like wind and hail because of it being
Oh.
so close to the coast. It's just like flood insurance, like it's separate and you can pay for it through a different company. But anyways, it's not as bad as NY here. We're forecasted to rain a week, but we have occasional sprinkles. I think it helps clear the air. Same, it just finished raining right now, and I really enjoy it because it really does help with that pollution in the air. Or pollution, not pollution. The stuff from the trees. What is it? Pollen. The pollen and whatnot. It really does help. Oh no, sorry. I was thinking about the fact that you might be still reading these books. Oh, shut up. Not Doro still being an a-hole. Yep, we're done with Doro. You can talk about him all you want. Parable, Fledgling, or Kindred. Yeah, Kindred is. I only read one of the or watched 2 of the episodes. I believe it must be horrible.
Yeah.
Well, I hear it's messing with people who have allergies. It's so annoying, but doable. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. Hey, Reese.
Hey, how are you?
How are you doing? Look, we have so many names for this man. That man. I can't keep it straight. The nasty things, and because of his behavior, he was no. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
He was
nasty old thing.
Mm-hmm. Every day, even if it's a sentence or paragraph. I love that.
I need to take from your book, and I need not literally take from your book, but I need to like take yeah, no. I need to take from what you're doing, and I need to write like at least a sentence or a paragraph or like a page a day, because I hear that writing really like that is so cute.
It's a Archer and Olive make these journals that are so cute. I have 2 of these, and I actually have a lot of books, but I bought this with the intent of it inspiring me to write and journal. And I think I did the cover page, and then I was done after that. Yeah. But I absolutely love it. Like, just writing in general, just get it out, right? We don't have to think about it anymore. And I used to be a big journaler. When I was a kid, I loved it. Yeah, I just really need to do that. Even if it's a sentence or a paragraph, like,
yeah,
how inspiring would that be? And then to be able to have, people go back and look at it and like pass it along. Man, Archer and Olive, they have these subscriptions that you can buy. I think it's like once a quarter, and it comes with like this whole set, and you get the journaling books. They're extremely high quality and very thick paper. Absolutely love it, but I haven't used them in forever. When's your birthday, Maya?
Next month on the 23rd.
Shut up.
Yep.
Shut up. For real?
Yep.
All right, Maya, 23rd.
July 23rd. Yep.
Do you have a wish list?
Yeah, I do.
Is it on your Instagram?
No, but I can send it to you. It has I think it has some books, like 3 books on there. But
why don't you post it on your Instagram so we can support?
Oh, because it has to do with my other job.
Oh.
It has other stuff on it too.
You gotta. Oh. Girl,
it has other adult stuff. Yeah, that's true. I need to make one for my Bookstagram stuff.
Yeah, but if it's the same account, we'll talk about it. If you don't want to do that, if it's the same account, never mind. Disregard. Anyway.
But I'm gonna be
getting some stuff.
I'm gonna be how old am I gonna be? I'm gonna be 33. Yeah.
33?
Yep.
Only
33. Yep.
I'm like 40.
No.
Don't come for me, Elyses. Did we lose Jessica? She might be fixing Amazon for us. Right. Period. I'm doing what I can, fan gang. Yo, the guru of Amazon, I'm telling you. Hey, Sassy Diva.
Hey.
How are you doing today? I mean, we just spoil the comment. If I was a mod, I would put myself in timeout. Bree, you're slipping. So from StreamYard, I can't put in timeout. I would have to go onto YouTube to be able to put you in timeout. But if you are willing to be a mod, let me know because I do need to have my mods. I do. There was a time when I first started Sprintings, and it was back when I would do Wednesdays only, and it was nothing but spam after spam after spam. And I don't want to make anybody a mod that doesn't want to be a mod.
Yeah.
So just let me know if you would like to be a mod. It's always ain't shit niggas. Period. Yeah. But that's what the horror is like. I went to see what was it, Boogeyman last night, and I was like, these dumb white women. And my friend was like, well, it wouldn't be a horror movie if there wasn't any dumb white women, right? And I was like, no, that's so true, because they would have done everything that they were supposed to do. And but these books, I'm telling you, like, when you read Not a Redo, it's not stupid things that they're doing. Like, they're just getting killed and like, creeped out, right? They're getting haunted, right? Like, make a movie about that. It don't have to be like go towards the danger, right? Like, it just
I would love to see My Soul to Keep as a movie.
Oh god, that would be so good.
I would love to see My Soul to Keep as a movie.
That would be so good. My Soul to Keep in the Living Blood was my favorite.
I've read half of My Soul to Keep. I'm halfway finished. And that was like during the last Black Queen-a-thon. My mental illness kicked in and was like, you're not going to finish anything anytime soon. So I told myself I would finish My Soul to Keep during the next Black Queen-a-thon.
This upcoming Black Queen-a-thon. I don't know how it's going to be this year, but yeah. Hopefully it's all good things this year for sure. We're definitely going to be supporting it. Papa has been timeout several times. Period. Papa, not Papa. After in timeout. I'm here for it. People don't realize, like, the Caribbean, they don't cover hurricane damages. Talk shit about you do not have to have insurance. No, insurance doesn't want to pay. Yeah. There's so many. One thing that I learned about doing property claims is, and learning about them after 6 weeks of training for that stupid shit, is that people pick policies. Well, one, insurance companies have fine limitations, and a lot of people agree to this shit. Nobody's gonna read the details in the fine print and all of this thing, right? But like, for example, liability, right? Somebody comes over your house and the dog bites them. Well, you chose a policy that, even though you have liability coverage, it excludes it. There's a lot of exclusions, and so it's not that insurance. It's not that I wasn't willing to write a check. It's just like you agreed, like, and you signed off on this. Like, some of the endorsements, for example, I had one person who had the roof was completely damaged, but they signed a separate form. I mean, we're not even talking about a packet. We're talking about one piece of paper that said you're taking a cut on your premium because you're not getting wind and hail damage. The moment you have wind and hail damage, it's like, yes, you want to file a claim, and that's what the insurance is for, but you literally signed this one piece of paper that says, I agree. And it was like a big cut on her premium, several $1,000s. So it made her premium per month like $40. But you excluded it, so now I can't pay for your roof.
Right.
So I've never been, from an insurance side of things, like, never not wanted to pay. No, I want to pay. But you chose this shit. Like, I can't give it to you. Like, that's fucking legal. So, like, yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of crummy insurance companies out there. Like find one, especially, and I will say this, water is the new fire. If you don't have water coverage, get it
Mm.
ASAP. A lot of people have fire coverage. Um, and that's if your house has an actual fire. That's not lightning striking. That's not a surge, right? If a pole down the street from your house gets hit and it comes into your house and sparks something and something stops working, you have to have a separate surge protection. Like you have to get
Mm.
that. And it's up to your agent to explain. But if you don't have water coverage, get it. I'm telling you right now, it is sickening the amount of claims that I've had to deny because they did not have water coverage because their insurance company did not, their insurance agent didn't tell them that they need water coverage. You don't think that you're going to have a pipe break or that water will seep into your house because you are missing a tile on your roof or hail busts the window. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Your floors, your walls are so messed up, and mold is not covered in any insurance policy throughout the entire U.S. There was like this whole big thing in Texas where it went to the Texas Supreme Courts, and mold is not covered at all in insurance. But like, just get it. Just look at your stuff. Just look at your stuff. I have 2 separate insurance policies for my apartment. If that doesn't tell you anything, like
Yeah.
I have to look at the fine print. I know what is covered and what is not covered, because there's too much risk when you don't look at the fine print of insurance. Literally, that's all insurance is risk. What they're taking on, what you're having to pay, what are you going to be liable for? And if you have questions, let me know. So I'm working on auto now, so give me a second to work on it. My oldest granddaughter graduated college 2 years ago.
That's what I said. What? You're how old? What? You? There's no way.
Ain't no way.
There's no way.
Papa out here with a whole grown ass grandchild acting a plum fool.
There's no way.
Mm-mm.
Archer and Olive. I'm gonna look them up.
Yeah, I love them, but they're still empty. Yeah, so I have an empty one too. I haven't journaled in over 2 years. Facts. Facts. Me too. It's been over 2 years since I've journaled. I had, oh God, I'll have to post it into, her name is like Journal Jive or Journal something. And she used Olive, Archer and Olive. She also uses a lot of highlighters. She uses this paint. And oh gosh, I wish I could go and just go get it.
I think I have an Archer and Olive notebook that I found at a thrift store.
Oh, I can't get it. I got a box on top of it. Never mind. But yeah, if you have an Archer and Olive book, definitely.
I think I have one. It's on my couch underneath my stacks of books. It has like yeah, now I need to put the books away anyways. I finally have a bookcase in my room to put them in there.
Yay.
So I'm like, my 3rd bookcase. I'm so happy.
I want one more. If I can get one more, I'll be happy because I have books stacked on top of each other. Like this is a whole book pile. I don't like necessarily stacking my books like this, but I want one big one. I just don't know where I'm gonna put it because at this point I have to get rid of the bed. So I don't want to do that. Oh, we got one more on the born day list. Yes. So if you have not shared your birthday, please do. We want to be able to celebrate it. After her birthday was the 3rd, and I made sure to tell her happy birthday. We have Tomb Raider's birthday, which is coming up on the 11th. So if you guys do not follow Tomb Raider, they have a BookTube page as well as an Instagram that they post content on. So Tomb Raider's birthday is coming up as well. Gabby's is next month. So we have a lot of July birthdays for sure.
I used to be so salty that my birthday was in July when I was a kid because everybody was at home and not at school, and so none of the kids in the elementary school could celebrate my birthday ever because it was always during summer, and I was so jealous of the kids that got to celebrate their birthdays during the year, and their parents brought them cupcakes or whatever. And I was just like, man, I can't get cupcakes in my class. That used to make me so salty when I was a kid.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
But now it's like summer. Oh,
Read, where? Where?
yes. I was gonna say
Where read?
16.
I don't see it. Where's the? I need people's IDs at this point because I think I'm being lied to. I was already typing 40 mile hours. Look, I am okay. My sciatic nerve, okay, says I'm about 65.
65. The way I bend over.
Yo, I was walking across the street and it just popped, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in the middle of the street!"
Oh no.
Oh, goddamn you, sciatica.
Oh,
Sometimes I'll be limping. I get up and I'll be limping. Like,
no.
I need some WD 40 in these hips of mine.
These hips.
I'm not kidding. Oh no, mods. I'm definitely going into timeout. Yeah, I'm gonna make you a mod. So it's happening. Making me a mod, make me create a compliment. Right. No, I need more mods to put your ass in timeout. That's the thing. Paw acting a plum fool. I would love to see Nana as a movie. So Nana is by Brandon Taylor. He is a horror novelist and Black author as well.
I think
Nana
I
is
have it
super
on my
creepy as well.
TBR. His name is what? Let me look this
Brandon,
up.
not Brandon Taylor. Brandon Mackey.
Massey.
Yeah, Brandon Taylor is a different author I'm thinking about.
It's
But
called
Nana.
Nana. Thank you.
There's one creepy scene, and it is cringy.
Oh, it's on sale and it's also
be
on
on
Kindle
Kindle.
Unlimited.
Yeah, should be on Kindle. Hey Brandie.
Hey Brandie, have you read any other of Massey's works?
No, I have 2 of his books though in my Kindle account. So I think it's like Frenzy that I have. He just came out. He just released a book, maybe a couple months ago. Something about a landlord or something. I don't
The
remember.
Landlord.
Yeah.
The author, he's a Black guy, right?
I don't know what Black people don't age.
The book I wanted to get by him, now that I remember it, that he sounds familiar, is called The Ancestors, and it's a
Yes,
book, yeah, by Tananarive
I
Due,
read that
Brendan
one.
Massey, and L.A. Banks. Did you like it?
I love Brand. Oh, who wrote the
L.A.
these
Banks.
stories? I did not enjoy Tanana Reduce part, but I did enjoy the other stories.
Okay.
They were definitely, and they're on Hoopla.
Oh, yep, I have that on my wish list. The Ancestors.
Yes, it is definitely on Hoopla. Alec, can you not text me, please?
Let me look up The Ancestors.
Yeah, definitely get a Hoopla for sure if you don't have one. Well, you have one with Boston.
Yeah.
You have one with Boston?
I have the one that's like a city away from me, but it's trash because they only let us have 5.
Oh yeah, I think Boston might be more than that. Stark Library. I need to get a Stark Library card. It's like $30 a year. Thanks to the gang, okay, the Nerd Mafia. It used to be like $20 or something like that. No, it used to be $30 for a library card for a year, and then I think they went up to 50 or something crazy.
Oh wow!
Like shortly after, because we bombarded them with applications, out of state applications. Like everybody in the chat was just like heading over there and just applying. So, it's in the house. We got a secret. Okay, I'm gonna stop causing trouble. Look, cutting up already. Fact. It's
not 1570.
May 16th. Oh, it's May 16th. I didn't get that one.
I think they're just making up a joke because it
50.
says
Oh,
1570.
yeah. I have. You know what? You might be right. Let me see. Where's True Murder? You're right. December 11th. December 11th. I lied. I'm sorry. Their birthday is December 11th. So, Ryan's birthday is that's no, that's July. Never mind. So the only birthdays that we have this month was Afton. We have a bunch of July birthdays. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Okay. Anyways, we're supposed to be talking about Bloodchild, and then we
Got sidetracked.
got sidetracked
It
on
happens to
queer
me
and
all the
sci-fi
time.
authors.
At least they're black.
Yeah,
At least we're recommending black horror and
yes,
sci-fi authors.
for sure. We are all young except for Brianna, 100 years old. You know, I might look young in the face, but ain't nothing young about these hips and knees. Okay, everything pop, shoulder, everything back. Um, yeah. No, did not creep me out. It was awesome. I loved it. There was just that one scene, the one scene that I was like, ugh. Okay,
Ugh,
stop.
I gotta prepare myself for it.
Unless you're Brie, apparently. No, it was good. Her and Doro have made a perfect couple. Two hot messes together.
I haven't even read the book yet, and that just that
Oh
just
god.
that tickled me.
You know what? This is a perfect example of two couple that if they were going to be together, two couples that live forever and have lots of babies.
Ugh, nightmare
Not
babies.
anymore. You waited too long. It's $50 now. So yeah, it used to be 30, and they got bombarded with applications. I'm guessing, and we're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna raise our prices."
Damn.
So they are definitely
Oh
um.
yeah.
So and okay, with California, I just lost my LA card because they did a verification, and I did not have my information written down. I should have created a whole account, and I just lost my library card. No lie, just lost it. So I am going to make both of us one as soon as I sit my hot ass down to
Thank
do
you.
it. There's a whole process. It's probably extremely excessive to do it. There's definitely some things involved. So to do the whole thing, like a VPN, and you gotta do this, and you gotta get a phone number. Like LA phone number is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Those is October 9th. Do I have that? I don't think I do. Oh yeah, I do. I do. Okay. LA brings back to my faves. Yeah, that Ancestors was I had finished it in like a few hours, and it was so good.
I just read Minion by L.A. Banks, and the beginning and the middle of it were okay, and then the end of it kind of threw me off.
Get in the corner with Jira.
They would annihilate each other.
Yes, they would. Suck the souls out of each other for sure. Like, yeah. Dang, Nana and Doro would shut it down.
That's so
But
funny.
I love that connection for sure. That's 1579.
Note the negative.
Negative. Stop it.
1570 years before Christ.
Right. Right. BC for sure. Man, yes, they would both create a terrifying world together. Yeah, they would. Do you know your born day? Oh shoot, you're closer than I thought. Oh, no. Oh man. Okay. Well, as far as Bloodchild, I think we all expressed. I did not rate this book yet, but it's definitely at least a 4 for me. What
Yeah.
did you rate it?
I think I gave it this time a 4.5. Last time I gave it a 4.
Okay.
This time I enjoyed the stories a little bit more.
Yeah. I I enjoyed the fact that I felt comfortable with it being a short story. I do not like short stories. They feel so incomplete, but like this was done so well. This was
Mm,
done so well. You know what? I could definitely reread this again for sure. Like it was graphic and horror-esque, and that's not even horror. That's not even a word. But like the horror scenes, it was creepy, but there was inspirational stories in it too.
yeah.
Octavia is just amazing. So the next book that we'll be reading is, I believe, this is book 1, right? Parable of the Sower.
Yeah.
Look at her. Look at this queen. Okay, look
Exactly.
at her. Okay,
Yes.
she is stunning.
I love that
Man.
picture of her.
So the next book that we'll be reading is Parable of the Sower, and so the live discussion for this is sometime next month.
Yep.
What do you have the day? I know. Let me look at
Um,
here because you have a
no, but I can look at the calendar. I know it's the second Thursday
yeah.
of the month. So let me just.
You sent it to me. You got a bunch of graphics. Let me see.
Yeah, I think it's the 13th. Oh no, yeah, 13th. I think.
July 13th.
Yeah.
July 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific
Yeah.
Standard Time.
Um, my advice would be if you know, and this is for everybody who's here in the chat, in general, if you know that you're sensitive to harsh subjects, just be slow with your reading. And then if you need to look up trigger warnings to protect your mental health, then do that. Look up trigger warnings because when I first read Parable of the Sower, I looked up trigger warnings, but I didn't read the synopsis. And it didn't really take away from the story, but it prepared me for what was going to be happening in the story.
Mm.
And then I would say that even more so for when we get to Parable of the Talons, because it's even more disheartening than the first book is. So just like look up trigger warnings if you need to. You can message me on Discord or Instagram. I have a website for trigger warnings. I can help you
Yeah,
with
there's
that.
several websites for
Yeah.
trigger warnings.
So just let me know. And I will say happy reading to everybody. I hope that this story resonates with you. I hope that Parable of the Sower resonates with you.
I hope so too. So far, it's been a great experience. So, you know, I love that we're doing the way the schedule is built is series and then a single book, and then series and then a single book, um, a single novel or short story, whatever. But this will be the next book. There is only 2 books within this series. I'm talking, Alec, give me a second. There's only 2 books within the series, and again, like she said, if you are sensitive to certain topics or subjects, please look up the trigger warnings. This is not a slow read, so we will not be reading this, taking a break, and then reading the next book. No, it's read this book this month, talk about it in July, read the next book the following month. So there's not going to be a gap in between to take a break or anything like that. So I hope that those who are still reading with us are, still following along and doing it as well. Um, I love this comment because if I have to put it down for a second, I will, and then I'm gonna push through because I really love those thriller horror aspects. But
Yeah.
it wakes me up. It just does something to me, and I'm just like, yes. Gets my heart beating a little faster. And so please take your time if you do need the trigger warnings and need to take, a second to read it. Start it now, because by July 13th, that will give you a little break. But we will have the discussion again, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, in regards to this book. Thank you again for those who are sticking with us and reading this as well, because of how intense these books are. I don't expect anybody to to do it at all. It's optional. Just because we love Octavia E. Butler, we're sharing it with you guys. But this was not supposed to be a read along, and it somehow became that. So, um, yeah. Do you have any other final thoughts or?
No, just thank you guys for coming to the discussion and all these discussions and sharing Octavia's sci-fi and horror. I really appreciate all of your comments and all of your being here to discuss my favorite author, and it just makes me feel so good inside. So I appreciate you all.
Yeah. Um, now we're giving you homework. Thank you guys for still joining us on this read along. Again, we understand how intense it can be. This is definitely stepping outside of the norm for some of us, and so I appreciate you guys doing this with me. But we will see you guys on. I will see you guys on Sunday. Maya, if you would like to join at any time, let me know.
Okay.
And I'll pass on links and whatnot. But we will be doing sprints on Sunday, based off of what you guys have said that works best for you guys, and you guys prefer that. Even though Wednesdays have a special place in my heart. I will see you guys on Sunday for sprints. I will also see you guys probably tomorrow for Brandie sprints as well. I know she'll be sprinting. And then we have the Zork discussion the first week of July. That will be fun. So if you're participating with any of these read-alongs, definitely keep posted on the schedule and whatnot. I apologize for the last minute post. I promise you I'm just going through a lot of transitions right now, a lot of changes. It's been a lot happening. So give me grace, but we'll get it up and running and for sure. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow when I see you guys for sprints. Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful night and be safe and take care. Bye,
Hi,
guys.
everyone.